There is this one line in the Harry Potter series that I think is quietly one of the most profound and best lines in the entire series for two reasons. The first, because it perfectly encapsulates a character, and the second, because it perfectly encapsulates the entirety of what the book is about. And I think as I read this, and I'm rereading this book again for the 20th time, 22nd time, 23rd time. I've read this book a lot, and I know every once in a while there's something that comes out where like an ex actor will say like, "Oh, you people need to get over the Harry Potter books. You need to age up and become an adult." And there's a line in the very first chapter of Harry Potter that goes against that, because if you age up and you stop reading things and you stop getting wonder at things like this wonderful book, then you start to become like Vernon Dursley. Because there's a line here where in the first chapter he's going off to war, off to war. He's going off to work. And as he's going off to work, he is all sorts of crazy things are happening to him. He sees, well, he doesn't necessarily see things, but there's people crowded in the streets wearing really weird clothing. There's owls swooping by everywhere. And then as he's going on his lunch break, he goes and gets a bun at the bakery. And as he's dashing across the road, he runs into this guy who he knocks over. And then Vernon Dursley realizes that this guy is wearing a weird clothing like the rest of the people that he couldn't stand. And so this is what the line is. And the old man hugged Mr. Dursley around the middle and walked off. Mr. Dursley stood rooted to the spot. He had been hugged by a complete stranger. He also thought that he had been called a muggle, whatever that was. He was rattled. He hurried to his car and set off home, hoping he was imagining things, which he had never hoped before, because he didn't approve of imagination. Now, that is a perfect summary of Vernon Dursley. He's someone that just has a cookie cutter life. And this is the real danger with Vernon. Because his life is so cushy and because he doesn't really approve of imagination, he doesn't have a sense of wonder. Now, I think him and Harry Potter are actually foils for each other in the first book, especially in the first book. And what I mean by that is they have totally offsetting characteristics that really help accentuate the other person's good or bad characters. And I love in the first chapter how Mr. Dursley has no imagination because he doesn't approve of imagination. And Harry, in the next few chapters and the rest of the book, is totally awed by the wonder that he sees in Hogwarts and by the wizarding world. And so I think the option then is, do you want to have wonder and excitement like Harry, or do you want to not approve? Do you want to not approve of imagination and become like Vernon Dursley? I think that the option there is really easy for us. And this is the reason why I keep coming back to this series time and time again, because this series is all about imagination and wonder and coming back to this childhood sense of awe that we experience when we read beautiful books like this. And so one of my favorite parts of this book, coming back to it, is that every single time I read it, I am transported into that realm of this childhood wonder that I experienced the first time I read this. And I don't want to be an adult who doesn't approve of imagination. I want my nieces, my nephews, if I ever have kids, I want all of them to experience imagination every moment of their life and experience wonder every moment of their life, and to never grow up or grow out of that. This is why I think children's authors are some of the best authors in the entire world, because they instill that in children. And when you revisit this as adults, you can experience that all over again, this renewed sense of wonder and awe. And it's sad because I think this is such an important concept in these books, because if you have imagination and you have wonder at things, it kind of is a humbling thing, because it makes you say, I don't know. There's things out there that I can't explain. And Vernon tries to rationalize everything in this first chapter, but he can't do that. And so he kind of has like a breakdown in this chapter with not really being able to explain the things that are going on around him. And I think it's sad, but the thing that could save Vernon Dursley is if he just had a little imagination. And I think he, as a character, is a warning to us That we might be grumps, we might not have all the right qualities, but the one thing that we cannot lose is our imagination, is our wonder at the world, because those are the things that make us humans. Experiencing and seeing beauty and seeing these incredible things around us. We cannot become like Vernon and lose our imagination or our wonder.